Chapter 11. Elwood, he grunted in response from the living room, where the window kept a sliver of Broadway blue. Then he shoe repair, the closed-down travel agency, and the median that ran up the avenue. The angle of his vision made a trapezoid, his personal snow globe of the city. It was a good place to smoke, and he'd found a way to perch on the sill that didn't aggravate his back. Going out for a bag of ice, I can't take it anymore, then Denise said, and locked the front door behind her. He had given her a set of keys last week. He didn't mind the heat. The city knew how to concoct a miserable summer, sure, but it had nothing on the South on those hot days. The way New Yorkers complained about summer heat on the subway, the bodega made him snicker ever since he got here. There was a garbage strike then, too, his first day in the city. But it had been February, it didn't smell as bad. The time whenever he left the vestibule downstairs, the stench was on thicket. He wanted a machete to hack through it. It was the only second day of the strike. The Wildcat strike of 68. The introduction to the city so wretched that he had interpreted it as hazing. Steel trash cans mobbed the pavement, overflowing and untouched for days. And the newer garbage in the bundled bags and cardboard boxes huddled against them. He avoided public transportation in a new place until he got the lay of it. And he'd never been on a subway before. He walked all the way uptown from the Port Authority. Walking in a straight line was impossible. He weaved around the mounds of refuse and got to the Statler, the SRO on 99th Street. The residents had kicked open a path to the front door between two monstrous piles of garbage. Thank you. Rad zipped back and forth. He wanted to break into one of the second floor rooms. All he had to do was scale the trash. Yeah. You got a cat. You got a cat right here. Where was I? The manager gave him a key to a place in the back. Four of the guys he worked with in Baltimore told him about the flop house and painted a terrible picture. Wasn't as bad as the guy made it out. He'd stay in worse places after it, on himself to clean the toilet and shower, and no one else bothered. Hold on. I love your cat and nice hat. Thank you. What's the name of your cat though, Holmes? This is easy. Stay in worse places after a couple days, he brought. JD's and Letterman, I'm back. I'm trying to prop the tripod up in a good way, Phil. Hold on. And actually, today we were reading the Nickel Boys chapter 11. Hold on. God damn it. Why do you look like you're from the year 2007? You look like the Metro Station singing band. Awesome music. I know the Metro Stations. I know who you're talking about. Yes, they are great. And I'm actually from 2007. Yeah, I time traveled all the way to 2025. And I brought a cat. Anyways, back to the story. It wasn't as bad as the guy made it out. He stayed in worse places. After a couple of days, he brought a cleaner in the AAP. He took it on himself to clean the toilet and shower. No one else bothered, that kind of joint. Scrubbed Dirty Johns plenty of times, plenty of places. On his knees in the stink. Welcome to New York. Down on Broadway, Denise cropped his perch view. Seen third floor, you peered over the benches and trees and saw it in stones. Paper bags and beer bottles and tabloids. Now the crappin' was everywhere. and drifts with the latest strike underway. Everybody saw what he was at the time. The city was a mess. Stubbed on his smoke and the teacup made it to the couch without hitting one of those gongs. Ever since he put his back out, he'd feel all right and forget move too. Sitting on the toilet going while picking up his pants. He yelped like a dog and then curled on the floor for a few minutes, the bathroom towel cool on his skin. It was his own fault. He never knew what was in those drawers and boxes. One time they were moving this old Ukrainian guy, a cop who got his pension and picked up stakes, to Philadelphia, where he had a niece. He bent down and lifted a night table and his spine popped. Larry said he heard it from the hallway. Cop kept his free weights in there, 300 pounds of weights in case he got the urge to lift the middle of the night. What put his back out last week was a big wooden bureau. Harmless looking, but he'd been working extra shifts for money, sleepy and sloppy. You gotta watch it with that Danish modern shit, Larry told him. When Denise returned, he'd ask her to fill another hot water bottle, long as she was going to be in the kitchen fixing more rum and cokes. The block was loud most nights with salsa music, and it was louder this evening. Hi. What with everyone keeping their windows open because of the heat? Plus tomorrow was July 4th. Everyone had off. If his back wasn't too troublesome, they're gonna go to Coney Island. Dead inside. Not really. Just stop. If his back wasn't too troublesome, they're going to Coney Island for the fireworks. But tonight they would stay and watch The Deviant Ones on Channel 4. Sidney Boyder and Tony Curtis, two convicts chained together on the run through the swamp, dodging hunting dogs and dumb-faced deputies with shotguns. Funny Hollywood crap. But he always watched a movie when it came on, usually on a late-night show. Denise liked Sidney Boyder. His rooms were furnished with cast-offs from work. What do you have? Bro. A kind of showroom for the furniture New Yorkers from all over the city in rotation, new stuff coming in and old stuff going out. His queen-size bed with the type of super stiff mattress he liked. A dresser with the fancy brass studs and lamp and rugs. People got rid of plenty. I can't see. Can you move your little head? I guess I moved. When they move, sometimes they change not just places, but personalities. Up or down the economic ladder, maybe. The bed won't fit in the new place, or the sofa's too boxy, or there's new newlyweds and put in the living room. Can you move? Please? There you are. Thank you. And the rest of his crews from Horizon Moving had dibs before the drunkman got his hands on it. The couch he lay on now is his 12th in 7 years, constantly upgrading. One of the perks of working for a moving company, though, was it was hell on your back sometimes. Even if you scavenged furniture like a transient, put down roots after his childhood home. This was the place he lived the longest. He started this New York stint at the SRO. I love the cat. Cat is friend. Anyway. He moved around a bunch uptown, Spanish Harlem, until he got to a line job at Horizon. Steady work and humped it down here to 82nd Street off Broadway. He knew he was going to take the apartment when the landlord threw the door wide. Here 4 years and counting. I'm middle class now, he joked to himself. Even the roaches were of the noble sort, scurrying when he turned on the bathroom light instead of ignoring his presence. He took their modesty as a touch of class. Denise returned. Did you hear me out? She's cold. Did you hear me outside? She went into the kitchen and stabbed the bag of ice with a butter knife. What? This rat ran across my feet and I screamed. That was me, she said. Denise was tall and Harlem tough and could have played basketball in one of the lady leagues. One of these city girls who wasn't afraid of anything. He'd seen her curse out this muscle-bound turkey who whispered something up untoward and as she passed on the street. She got up in the dude's face, but a rat made her squeal like a little girl. Denise was most definitely not a little girl. Damn, bro, just called her fucking big bag. So when she let out the part of her, it was always a surprise. She lived on 126th, next to the vacant lot, and now the garbage made the empty lot livelier than usual. The bastards were everywhere, bursting out in their underground hidey holes. She said she saw a rat as big as a dog last night, barked like one too. He opened that maybe it was a dog, but she wasn't going back today because he was glad to have her. Her Wednesday night classes were canceled because of the 4th. He was off too. That afternoon, sleeping when she came over, went to bed with him. Her big silver earrings on the bedside table, courtesy of the Atkinson family, Chorley to York Avenue. 3 kids and a dog, and a Gimbel's dining room set. Woke him up. By now she knew the spot on his back where it hurt and needed it, and then told him to roll over and got on top. The room was 10 degrees hotter when they were done and, tangled up in each other. Warm rum and cokes worked for a while, and then they didn't, and an ice run was in order. They met at a high school up on 131st Street. At night there was adult classes. He was working on his GED, and she taught ESL to Dominicans and Poles in the classroom next door. He waited to finish the course before he asked her out. Earned a certificate and feeling proud, and it was one of those moments that made you realize you have no one in your life who cares about the occasional triumph. He'd had the thought of getting his GED in the back of his mind for a while. Tended to it like it was a candle flame, cupped in his hand out of the wind. Kept seeing the ads on the subway. Complete your studies at night of your own terms. And was so happy to get that piece of paper. And then he said, fuck it. Walked right over to her, big brown eyes and a bridge of freckles all over her nose. On his own terms, he hardly ever did it any other way. Asked her out, she said no. She was seeing someone, then a month later she called him up. They went out for Cuban Chinese. Denise brought over the rum and cokes with ice. And I got some sandwiches, she said. Set up the TV tray, which had been left behind by Mr. Waters. When he picked up steaks from Amsterdam Avenue to Arthur Avenue in the Bronx, folded up so it fit neat between the couch and the end table. Like that Nobel Prize in Physics to the guy who invented it. Need to get off their asses and pick it all up, Denise said from the kitchen. Bernie has to come up with the phone and talk to these people. She thought the mayor was a bum, and released the strike for its opportunity of complaint. She listed her gripes as he wrangled the rabbit ears to the best place for Channel 4. The smell, she said, for one, of the rotting food, and the bleach the super sprayed on top of it. The bleach was for the flies that swarmed over the piles of trash in the gross haze, for the maggots twisting on the pavement. Then there was the smoke. People lit the garbage on fire to get rid of it. He didn't understand this, and he considered himself a student of the human animal. The limp breezes between the buildings carried the smoke all over. The fire engines screamed as they scattered across the city on avenues and side streets. That, plus the rats. He sighed in every argument. He took whatever side stuck it to the man. Rule 1. Cops and politicians. Fat cat businessmen and judges. The assorted motherfuckers working leaves. They got him by the balls. They should twist, he said. They're working men. Mayor Beam, Nixon, and his bullshit. It was almost enough to make him want to vote, but he avoided the government whenever possible, as not to push his little bit of luck. Why don't you sit down, baby? He said. I'll get it all together. I already did it all. He even put the kettle in this hot water bottle. It whistled. Trash fire smoke snuck in through the window, so he opened one of the bedroom for cross ventilation. She was right. It'd been a true hassle if the strike went on as long as the last one. It was terrible out there. But it was good for the rest of the day. For the rest of the city, at least. To see what kind of place they were really living in. Receptive for a change. See how they liked it. News anchor offered the holiday weather and gave a brief update on the strike. Talks continue. Told the viewers to stay tuned for the 9 o'clock movie. He tapped her glass with his, "You're married to me. Now, where's the ring?" What? From the movie, Sidney Poitier says it, holding up the chains and binds him to the redneck. You should watch what you say. Sure, the dialogue changed depending on who was saying it and who said it to you, like the ending of a movie. On the one hand, neither convict made it out, or you look at it the other way and each of them made it to freedom and they let the other one die. Maybe it didn't matter. They're fucked either way. Stopped watching the movie a few years later when he realized he didn't watch it because it was sort of corny. Or the facts were wrong. Or marked how he had come, but because watching it made him sad. And a nut job part of sought out the sadness. At a certain point, he learned the smarter play was to avoid things that you bought you low. That night, though, he didn't see the end of the movie. Because Denise wore a denim skirt, and her big thighs sticking out distracted him too much. Reached over when the anti-acid commercial came on. Deviant ones, and sex, and sleep. Fire engines in the night. Tomorrow morning, he had get up and out. Back pain or no, because at 10 he was going to meet the man and buy the van. He had roll of bills tucked in his boot under his bed. He'd missed the satisfaction of adding $20 to it on payday. Tore down the flyer in the laundromat so no one else could beat him to it. 67 Ford Ecoline. Needed a new finish, glossy but the guys on 125th owed him one. Then he'd supplement his horizon shifts with his own jobs. Weekends too. Been on Larry so he could pay off his old lady. Couldn't count on department sanitation. But Larry, belly aching about his childhood support, was as dependable as a U.S. Steel. He decided to call his company, Ace Moving. Was taken in, wanted to be at the top of the phone book. It was 6 months before he realized he picked the name from his time at Nickel. Ace. Out in the free world to make your zigzag way. Chapter 12. There were 4 ways out of Nickel. 1. Serve your time. Typical sentence fell between 6 months and 2 years, but the administration had the power to confer a legal discharge before then, at its discretion. Good behavior was triggered for legal discharge if careful boy gathered enough merits for promotion to ace. Hi. I'm Katie. Whereupon he was released in the bosom of the family. I'm gonna call it there. How does that sound? Yeah, that sounds good. Come here, child. Where you are. JD's and Littleman. This is Izzy. Say hi, Izzy. She's 19. Still looks like a kitten. She's like a turtle hair cat. I don't know what the exact breed is. Say hi, Izzy. What? What'd you hear? What the fuck was that? Do you know? No. Alright. Say bye bye, Izzy. You're just gonna keep lying on me, aren't you? My leg is fucking dead asleep and I cannot move because, feline paralysis. It's a real condition. Because, they don't want to get off. Right, Izzy? and subscribe, y'all.